Yo, you already know what it is, man. It's your boy Primary Element, and initially this was gonna be an episode of the challenge, but we couldn't make it happen. So instead, we're gonna do an episode. This is TLX interviews, y'all, and we're sitting here right now with the DMV based collective. Am I correct?
630 Fairview.
630 Fairview, y'all. So it's definitely dope to get to see you guys here in person. I've met pretty much all of you, I believe so. Is this everybody in the group?
Nah, not even close.
I'd be
missing a few. There's 7 of us. 7, 8 of us. 9 of us.
Yeah, probably I'll say 10, just in case.
Let's say 10.
Yeah, let's just put that 10.
Should we name?
So we're gonna pretty much. I want to learn about what exactly 630 Fairview is, but really before we get into it, what it is now, like, kind of give me a background, like how did y'all get started? Where did y'all meet at? You know what I'm saying? What was the conceptualization of 630 Fairview like?
Well, first off, what was you?
630 came together at 630 Fairview, Tacoma Park. And it was an address where I had stayed with a bunch of homies I met from school, college, but we had started the music thing a while back with Mello and Matt. Matt Hazmat. You know, check him out. But then we spread. This guy was doing music in the cut, and then when we all like got our own equipment to record at my place, everybody would just come on through. 630 was the spot. Damo was over there. She knows. She was lit. You know, there's a lot of.
He's kind of understating it. Let me tell y'all. 630 Fairview is like basically a frat house. That's how they lived in that joint. Like
drugs, bitches,
a lot of drugs.
Women.
It was all kind of
scandalous.
It was all kind of activity. Like the joint was like, it was like a revolving door on the front of that joint. People was always in, always out. If you didn't know who lived there, you wouldn't know who lived there. You know what I'm saying? Who didn't? It was like that many. It was like that many heads coming in and out of there. And the thing about it is, like, you come in there, and on any given day, coming in the house is a chore because you'll end up going around the room dapping niggas up for like a good 2 or 3 minutes, and halfway through dapping niggas up, somebody done passed you a blunt because it never stopped in there. Like, it was like, you know what I'm saying? Like.
So were all of y'all living at 630 Fairview at the time?
He was the only, he was living there, and Doctus was living there, and then a couple of other homies that they went to school at Wahoo.
And this was around what time?
Shit, y'all moved in there when?
2012?
Yeah, 2012.
So how old was you at the time?
Like 18, 19?
Nah, cause you lived in.
Well, 5. That's 4 years. 20, 1920.
Yeah.
1920.
That's what's up. And then so y'all basically maybe knew him already, or y'all got introduced at that time?
I knew him since like 10th grade of high school when we was in the marching band together.
I knew him since about middle school, like since about.
Yeah, I've known him since like 2003, I think. 2003. We met in 2003. When we met, because his brother and I both were in the science and tech program at Flowers, and we were like kind of the only ones from the neighborhood that went to school from there because we were really right behind Largo. So then we became friends and we had a lot of classes together because we was in science and tech together, and we were the same age. We both went to high school at the same time. Even though what was funny about that was we lived in that neighborhood for 3 years before we even met these niggas, and they lived like probably 5 houses down from us. And we never met these niggas, and we used to be like, son, what happened? Like, did y'all used to come outside like before? Like, because until high school, and we never met these niggas. They swore they used to be outside, but we didn't know y'all niggas.
We was on the block.
Y'all wasn't on the block.
So Hoti, you went to Flowers. What year did you graduate? Damn. Okay. That's why I probably saw you one time. I graduated in 10. Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I don't remember this.
Type shit. Yeah, your face like familiar, but actually I've met you before. So why the fuck wouldn't it? Yeah. So you guys met at the frat house basically.
Well, no, we didn't meet there. I knew him.
Oh yeah, you
since
met prior to
2003,
that.
and we was already friends because.
You started making music at the house though.
Yeah.
Right,
Well,
right.
we started making music together at the house. He started making music at the house. I started making music on my own at in my spot, in my little setup, and then.
So at what point did y'all come together and say like, oh, you got talent, oh, all of us are fucking lit. Like let's make a group out of this shit. You know what I'm saying?
We all like collaborated at 6:30. That's how kind of we got the group. We changed the group. We went through changes and we finalized on 6:30 of what to call ourselves. But we had been Mello, me, and Matt were doing music like ever since I got my laptop when I started school. That's like when niggas got FL Studios. And yeah, before like I had linked up with Miggs and the rest of these niggas. This nigga was doing music in the car. I didn't even know. You know, I'm just at school.
Ain't nobody.
And I'm only people who really know what the people I was freestyling with. I was freestyling with Damo back at the trap. You know, good old Watkins Park. But when we just used to smoke weed, and then we were like, shit, this nigga Mello cranks. Let's do something serious. Like, I'm a music major, and like we got something here. So we started making, like, had a little, my man Country come over, and we had this in studio.
Shout out to Country, bro. We recorded the first song we ever put in shit.
First time we hit over 2,000.
Yeah.
But we started with that, you know, SoundCloud putting up track. Then we slowed down and put together a mixtape. Long story, but during that whole process, we had people coming over. So this is time we saw Ant more. You know, he started coming over, and he could sit in the sessions. And this nigga was already doing music in the club. We just didn't know. So he discovered it. Miggs Doctus was my roommate. So he's picking up influence. He starts rapping. He starts learning this. And he learns the engineer's own shit. So then we started recording.
But hold up. But then the first thing we did together was the Walk-In joint. It was a song called The Walk-In that Mello did the beat for. What did you flip for that? I can't remember what he flipped. But it was something that had some horns and it was some horns, right? And we did this song called The Walk-In, which is on SoundCloud right now, but it's early work.
I remember Stylistics. I don't remember what song. Y'all, if y'all hear it, y'all would know it's a Stylistics. I sampled Stylistics for that joint.
But yeah, we did that song, and that was the first song we did together. And ever since then, when was that? That was like 2 summers ago, or 3 summers ago. 3 summers ago. 3 summers ago.
So basically, y'all been rocking out together for about at 6:30 Fairview for about 4 years. Now.
Well, here's the thing though, because see, even after that, I did like one other collab with you, or 2 other collabs. I did the Visions joint for his first mixtape that we never dropped, and then the Oh Yeah joint for the MySpace. So we did that. But besides that, we weren't collabing at all. And I'm not really sure why that was. Maybe because I wasn't coming around as much in that time.
And it was just like we kind of.
And they was kind of fronting on me. It was kind of front. I felt like they was kind of front on me because every time I would go over there, I'd be like, "Hey, what's good with you? Like, you know what I'm saying? Let's collab." Let me
he was semi-assertive.
I would always say, like, I want to do a joint with each one of y'all.
Like, I rap, but he don't really rap. But he'd be like, I rap.
But I would always get in on the freestyles, especially once I started smoking. Because
exactly, it was a slow. It was a little. It was like.
It was gradual.
But I was also telling them at the time that I'm still good. Like,
but it was more telling than showing.
They wasn't buying it.
But I'm in the freestyle. I was tight in the freestyle.
But he started showing.
I was
and as soon as
they was trying to hear some recordings. Y'all was basically trying to hear some recordings. Is that what y'all saying?
Nah, we knew about it, but we was like, you know, just hop on the mic. And, you know, he finally did, and then that's when things started happening. You know, it just.
What happened was money getting tight happened.
Money getting tight.
I came over, see, and I wasn't even supposed to be on that song. I came over, and it was like, I guess he came, the way you came in. But I came over one day, and I don't even know why I was coming over there, but it wasn't to record or write no music. And I came over there, and then they was just finishing this song. And they was like, they played the joint, and we was like, oh yeah, this shit is tight, It was like probably the best song they had done at the time. So they was playing the shit, and Nana was on it, G Baby. He was on the joint, and we got to the end, and I was like, dang, son, there's still some space on there. And I said that because I was kind of fucking with the beat for real. And I was kind of like, dang, I hope they ask me to get on it because I've been asking these niggas, like, what's good? So then Doctors finally asked me to get on the joint. And then I wrote it in like a couple of hours, which is like the fastest I ever written. Like, it's like one of the fastest verses I ever written. And then we recorded it later on that day. And then that was it. And then after that, my talent couldn't be denied. It was too great. Like, the way I came in was
He was David Ruffin.
It was gorgeous. It was gorgeous. The way I came in I was David Ruffin when I came in.
So Mello got that as the producer, and both of y'all are like rapper, artists, songwriters.
Right.
correct?
And we got.
Is that the fullest extent of talent that's in the group, or does it expand beyond that?
Nah. So other artists that we have.
We got Jake Green.
And
he's a rapper,
singer.
He's an overall artist too.
Chef. and then there's Doctus.
Man, Doctus.
Who's a rapper, singer, sometimes kind of artist. And then
engineers.
he also engineers too. He did a lot of our joints in the beginning, like a lot of the joints that are up now.
But pretty much everybody in the group that pretty much is a part of 630 Fairview is basically involved in music. Is that?
That's either involved in music or some type of media, painting, art, all that.
Yeah, we also got Cannon, who's our other like main producer, who also raps.
He's like the White Ranger.
Me personally, I have experience trying to start a collective and keep a group of people, you know what I'm saying, on the same page. What do you think is like that binding factor for y'all?
You just gotta keep it real.
I think keeping it real and really understanding that in order for things to happen, you really gotta work together. I think niggas really fail to understand that.
Yeah.
The more the merrier type shit.
Yeah.
I think a lot of niggas want to be that nigga versus letting everybody just rise with you. Like, it's no point. Like, if we were all competing against each other trying to get on, that'd be whack. Versus all just working and using each other. I feel like a lot of people forget that.
But how do you keep that going without stepping on each other's toes?
Well, I mean, I think because we're humble within ourselves. I mean, number one, first of all, getting all of us together is like, we probably already be hanging out with each other anyway, because we would be friends anyway. We were already friends for years before we started making music. So it was as simple as that. I mean, and then we get together and then we I don't know if, I feel like there's times where we want to see each other succeed. There's a lot of times where I feel like we care more about the project than the individual artist. You know what I'm saying? So I think that when you keep that in the
in the works, it's
teamwork,
easy.
make the dream work.
Yeah,
I feel like
honestly.
you guys kind of feed off each other's energy, like keep each other inspired.
Yeah. And we take things from each other and stuff like that.
We all grow with each other. That's the coolest part about being in a collective. You really get to experience like group growth versus this individual thing where it can feel long and tedious. When you can do everything in-house and cut out a lot of middlemen, you get so much more production done.
Plus, there's the dependency factor too. We kind of depend on each other for certain things at this point. So really, it's more of like how are we going to make this work? You know what I'm saying? Not necessarily like, are these the right people I should be doing this with, or should I just be doing this myself? It's kind of like, I know I'm gonna go to Mello for the beat already. You know what I'm saying? Like, I already know that Mix is probably gonna help me record or engineer, or kind of mix and master this. You know, like all of that. So it's kind of like an accepted thing. Like, you know how certain, like, you know, with your family, you got brothers and sisters, like, oh, these are always gonna be my brothers and sisters. Mm-hmm. It's kind of like, I already know this is gonna be my producer. So it's like, if he makes some shit I don't like, it's not, I'm not gonna fuck with it. It's, how can we fix it? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, yeah, it's like that kind of thing.
So, total, how many rappers in the group?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah.
5 and possibly 6 if Christo.
So I know all of y'all pretty much freestyle and shit like that. Y'all collaborate and stuff like that. Are y'all competitive with each other? You know what I'm saying? There's such thing as friendly and healthy competition. So y'all practice that?
I say this. They don't try to say it, but they do compete with each other. Like, like I beat people like it's not like they taking jabs at each other, but it's like you can tell when you hear the music. It's like, all right, that person dropped a dope verse. This person stepped it up like shit.
Yeah.
They verse, that person stepped it up. So it's like,
there's been a couple times where niggas have been like, oh, hold up, I gotta go back and rewrite my shit, like, a couple times. And then
reading, double check.
Yeah. It's definitely been stuff
that's
like
just the competitive nature.
But I don't think it's necessarily like, I don't think it's competitive. We just all try to be as good as we can each time. And it's competitive in that way. You know what I'm saying?
If you hear somebody like doing really great on the track and you feel like, oh damn, they doing so good, I feel like I could probably should have done better type shit. That's when it becomes, I need to go rewrite. Not necessarily, he's doing so good on the track, I'm trying to outshine him.
Right.
That's
Yeah,
how-
really.
that's how-
Like, really,
Yeah,
yeah, we've had that
yeah.
conversation too. Like, I remember a couple times it was said that I'm trying to impress you guys, not necessarily be better than you guys. I'm just trying to keep up at some times and then trying to impress at other times. Yeah.
Facts. Okay, so like we kind of got an idea of you know what I'm saying, how you guys got started, what you guys basically have been through, a little bit about what you guys have been through as a group and where you're coming from. What is it that, you know what I'm saying, is going on with you guys now? You know what I mean? Like, you guys got projects out. What have you guys put out already, and do you guys have anything coming up?
Very big things coming soon, man. We got big shit.
I saw a couple singles dropped like within the past 2 months.
Yeah, so we try to drop music as often as we can, really. But the main priority, the project that we're working on right now, is the Scoundrels tape. The Scoundrels is the trio of me, Spoonie, and Jerry, and that's our rap trio. And we're putting out a tape together right now, which is like probably halfway finished, really.
Tape's like, yeah, it's probably about halfway finished. Most of the stuff is set in line.
Mm-hmm.
Mello produced like
The majority of the tracks,
80%.
What's the tape called?
It's probably gonna be called the Scoundrels tape.
Okay, and like I know like when it comes to the creative process, you can't really necessarily put a date on it. It's done when it's done type shit.
Well, yeah, and here's the thing. I mean, well, first of all, we are hoping to have it out by the end of the summer.
Say less.
All of it. So, but the way that we're releasing it is not like traditional.
So unconventional. Oh.
So we found that if you're an upcoming artist, it's a lot easier for you to get attention per song if you release it as a single. So we really try to cater to each song one at a time. You know what I'm saying? We got all of our songs that we know we want. We cater to that one song until it's done, and then we release it. And the mixtape, the entire tape will be out in its entirety on the day that we drop the last track.
It's fucking genius. So if it takes a year,
If it takes a
At
year, then it
least
takes a
every
year.
track.
But it's probably gonna be the end of August.
at least every track, you know, because you guys put a lot of work into each and every track. At least every track got its proper respect and proper shine.
We not one of them microwave artists.
You gotta treat every song like you want it to be heard as the single. You know what I'm saying? So
Facts. That's smart. That's a smart way to go about it. I know a lot of artists, they'll put out a project, they have maybe one single. You listen to an album and have one hot track on it.
And you'll go even
It'll
on
be the hottest track in the world,
you'll see
right?
1,400 plays, and the next song will have like 56, 48, 76.
We won't put any particular artists out there, but it'll be the hottest track in the world. Might be the song of the summer. They drop an album and everything else is filler, like garbage.
Who's the artist you don't want to put
I
out?
don't want to say it, but like.
But if you didn't want to say it, then don't mention it. But you already mentioned it, so.
I feel like, you know, Remy Ma did that last summer with the All the Way Up project.
I mean, okay.
You know what I mean?
What was the single off of that joint? The
All the
Nicki
Way
diss?
Up. The All the Way Up joint.
Oh, that was her
like,
song?
It was like almost the song of the summer. Her and Fat Joe.
I thought that was
Man,
Joe's
Money
song.
Showers.
They did a collaborative album.
That's my shit.
I mean, but
Money Showers was nice.
Yeah.
So maybe that's a bad example, but you know, I've seen
I
that
know
where it's
in a
just
few
one big-
It's
artists.
that microwave.
The problem. Okay, Tyga, his album, literally every song I deleted.
Hey, what song
30
did you
seconds.
like though?
The one with Kanye.
Yes, son. Oh my God, that's the best song he ever made.
That was a great song.
Is that a
right?
single off of the joint?
Yes.
Okay.
Every,
That's the
literally
single.
every other song.
Nice.
on the
Vince
project-
Staples joint was kind of tight.
Vince Staples.
I ain't gonna judge Tyga.
Vince
I
Staples,
ain't gonna
his single
listen
was
to it
popping.
all the way.
I'm saying the Vince
His
Staples
entire album
Tiger.
was popping to me. You
Oh,
didn't
yeah,
like
Vince
Vince
Staples-
Staples' album?
No, I
Never
liked
liked
it.
it.
I'm saying
Okay,
Vince
okay.
Staples and Tiger joint. The Tiger song.
Oh,
Yeah.
see, well,
It was
well,
alright.
the problem with that was Tyga's verse came first.
Y'all
So I didn't get the
you
Vince
doing
Staples.
my ass
Oh, you
Tyga
gotta wait on
dirty
Vince Staples,
right
though.
now.
You gotta wait on
Tyga-
Vince
Does Tyga have bars? Yes or no?
Yeah, it's TYGA. They say I'm not hood cause I stay in the valley. They say I never been in the alley. I tell them cats, I've been in the alley.
Hey, he went off in the Kanye joint. That's all I know. He had bars in the Kanye joint.
But my whole preference when it comes to lyrics
Yeah,
is
bars.
really skewed. Cause I like the mumble rap shit. I don't like calling it mumble rap, but that's how everybody relates to it.
Embrace it.
Some of that shit is very, very slept on. I can say that.
I like simple rap. I don't like all that metaphorical, lyrical.
He don't like the
lyrical
shit we do.
Do you like punchlines? I really like punchlines. That's what I mean when I say bars, punchlines, current events, talking about shit that's actually relevant. Just in general when it comes to bars, like Mainly, like, one thing that sticks out as a listener to me is punchlines or shit that's gonna make me laugh. You know what I'm saying? Or that was clever. You know what I'm saying? If you're just flexing the whole shit, like, and your cadence is nice, then I'm like, all right, yeah, that was cool, but you know, you don't really have.
But it still boils down to being. It still boils down to being a good songwriter. Like a lot of niggas, they got the lyrics, but they can't write a song with shit. Look at Cash. There's only big song was drinking my 2 cup, whatever, drinking my cup. And he's one of
the hotel jump.
He begged to differ. Wait, the hotel?
Yeah, he said it's only big song.
Alright, the 2 songs, but he's a
And
lyric.
I'm a hustler.
3, but he's supposed to be this lyrical.
And the B-boy stands drink.
4. He's supposed to be this lyrical.
I ain't catch that
But he's
one.
supposed to be this lyrical ass nigga, but his songwriting was not.
I mean, I feel you, and that's always the thing, you know, with Cassidy. That people say.
So while we on the topic of, you know, different artists and things like that, who are some artists that y'all checking for personally, and then that other people might not already be hip to, and then B, that actually maybe inspire what y'all do, whether it's locally or on a national scale.
Shit, for me, it's right now. I still get inspired by go-go music, TCB, Reaction. You know, I play with True Expressions. I played with True Expressions and Journey Team, so that shit be inspiring me. The rap shit, I say Thugger. That's like my number 1.
Still to this day, I mess with, because you know he just put out a country.
Yeah, that shit crazy.
Okay,
We heard
No, don't do that.
That
You gotta really give it a chance.
That
honestly.
shit crazy.
Son, the thing,
That shit was trash.
the thing about Thug, son, is the way he does, like, with his voice and just the sounds of it, son.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something, son. Like, let me ask you something. Are y'all judging Thug at all based on, like, because you said you listen to punchlines and shit like that a lot.
Yeah.
So you judge him based on that kind of thing at all?
most definitely.
Okay, so, see,
He is the greatest of all mumble rappers to have ever existed. Between him and Future, but Future doesn't have punchlines as much as Thug.
Thug got that shit, son.
He's
just,
like
he that
legitimately an
nigga.
alien.
My
but
biggest criticism.
how come you didn't like the joint, though?
I felt it was kind of trash too, because I do a 30-second.
Why? What doesn't y'all like?
You only listen to
It just didn't sound good to me, honestly. Like, the shit that he was doing, his voice was just like him overreaching the capacity of his voice.
I feel like he needs
So
to
it's just
So
like,
you
so I do agree
He
that.
hasn't really.
I know. I think that Thug is like one of the greatest, like, of the new generation of rappers. But that country album was trash. Like,
How many times did you listen?
I listened to once. Maybe I listen to listen
I
to
listened to it.
again.
I only listened to it because Shamel was posting about it, and I trust his judgment as far as music goes. So I was like, okay, so far I haven't been led astray. I listened to that album on my way to work. I was like, no. But then I was doing my hair, and I don't make a joke.
You saw it on my face. I was ready. I was holding it back.
I was bleaching my hair. And I was waiting for the bleach to like set in, and I listened, and like it came on shuffle, and I was like, "This is actually genius! Like you have to give it a second listen to really."
Maybe
like,
I need to give it a second listen, but
honestly, do it.
All Thug albums you gotta listen to.
Thug,
multiple
I
times.
think Thug is a genius. I genuinely think that Thug is in the new Wayne. You know what I'm saying?
I like past Wayne to me.
You think that
When it comes to like
wait,
manipulating his voice and shit, not lyrically, Lil Wayne lyrically, yeah.
I do think that he's a Lil Wayne 2.0.
Nah, so I can't.
Like, I mean,
Maybe-
that's new version of
No,
Wayne.
he's not even. He's
evolved
not a
form.
Lil Wayne 2.0.
Nah.
He's like his own.
He's doing the exact same thing as Wayne's doing,
I don't know.
like in the new age generation.
Cause Thug is doing what Lil Wayne tried to do, and Lil
Wait,
Wayne
wait,
just
wait,
couldn't
wait.
do it.
Wait,
Now-
Lil Wayne
And I'm
succeeded
not
at everything
talking
he ever
about-
tried to do.
I'm not talking
gotta
about.
give me
I'm not talking
something.
about just the lyrics. I'm talking about what Lil Wayne tried to do, when he was trying to incorporate the auto tune and sing it.
Right, okay.
It just wasn't that good to me. But
and
Thug,
crossing genres.
yeah,
Right,
but
okay.
Thug,
No.
Yeah, that rock album was
you can
trash.
put.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Lil Wayne's rock
Oh
album.
my!
I can get
like
with you
that
on
shit?
that.
I liked that album.
When you say
See, that's why you
Thug,
can't trust your opinion.
when you say Thug is doing what Lil Wayne tried to do, I disagree in the fact that you don't hear as many Thug features as you hear as Lil Wayne features ever. Like,
I totally agree.
Niggas,
it's a
think
different
niggas
age-
is
it's a
scared
different age
of a
for
Thug
features, though.
feature.
Like,
Because Thug gets on track, he takes it over.
this is true. He does.
It's
He does
like-
pretty
it's
much whatever
hard.
he wants to do.
And he collabs with so many different people. Like he
Yeah,
has that song with
bring him in, bring him in.
All right, real
Yeah.
shit.
Real
Oh,
shit.
now he wants to
Real
go on the
shit
couch.
on that.
Now he
Real
wants to go on
shit.
the couch.
the feature era is low key done.
Future?
Feature.
Oh,
Like
okay.
people get on features, people get on remixes. That was in like 2003, 2005. You know, that was that era. You know what I'm saying? But so you can't compare the amount of features that Thug gets to Lil Wayne. You feel me? Because it's a whole different era. But Thug is that nigga. I can't say that he's not that nigga. But the country album was trash.
We gotta give it a second to listen.
We gotta give it. Maybe I need to listen to it.
I want to know what
Have
you like.
do you smoke or drink anything? Like you
you
get lit. Do you get lit?
Yeah,
Well,
I mean,
if you get lit, you got
my
lit.
mom
You have to
watching
get
to
lit.
know, but
No,
anybody else?
if my mom watching, no. But
Yeah.
this is how
Nah.
I look at it. I thought Frank Ocean Blonde album was trash.
Oh no, that shit is
No,
amazing.
Yeah, it was.
That shit is
But
amazing.
it took me.
I did think it was trash first time.
Yeah, it took me the first two listens.
listens.
I ain't like it because I was just like, "What the fuck are the drums? I'm not understanding this shit. What is he talking about?"
Yeah, no
But
problem.
it was a third listen. I was high as shit after having a session with these niggas. And I sat down and listened to it. I was just like, yo, this is like one of the most amazing albums. It's so different, avant-garde. It's like, god damn. It took me that for me to be high to understand that
And I
shit.
feel like that's part of it. Like a lot of the time when you're used to listening to one kind of genre, or there's a like predominating genre out at that time, and you crave that, when you hear something that's different, at first you're gonna reject it, like always.
I rejected
You're
it.
gonna
For
reject
me,
it.
I had
That's
to get
why
I had to
that
get Channel
3%.
Orange out of my head.
Yeah, that's true.
I had to like I listened to it and I didn't like it and I was just like, okay, this is not going to be like Channel Orange. You feel me?
Right.
Yeah, I had to get that. So I didn't listen to it again for like a couple of weeks. After those weeks,
It
I
took me a
went
couple
back.
months.
It might have been a month, but I went back and listened to it and I was just like, damn. This shit is actually like fire. Like this shit is like
So Blonde is actually fire.
Fuck,
Yes.
Blonde is
that
fire.
shit is amazing.
It's not as fire as Channel Orange, but
Oh, okay.
Oh no, it's
What?
like
It's different. I don't think you can compare
Channel
it.
It's
Orange.
not more fire.
It's almost like it came
Channel
from two
Orange is
different
more
artists.
Channel Orange is more fire.
oh, so it's hard.
I mean,
It's like
Why-
1A, 1B.
Yeah,
I'll
I
make
think
for
it's
I'll
like-
make Blonde 1B because of Channel
Channel-
Orange was good. It'll be 1B.
Channel Orange is a fucking classic.
just because
Yeah,
of the skits to the transitions to the whole
Yeah, I agree.
production.
Yeah, his transitions are crazy, but the fact that Channel Orange isn't a bad song on the album.
Right.
You can listen to that
Every
joint
single one.
from beginning to end.
Yeah,
You know
And-
why I feel
and
like
Joe-
with
I
Blonde,
agree. The
sometimes-
only thing about
Blonde,
Blonde,
you
them
can't-
fucking skits.
Yeah, I
blew
wouldn't.
me.
The skits
That-
are whacker.
What was that
than Blonde.
Facebook skit?
Well, I
with
mean,
Blonde?
he was just trying to go back to his whatchamacallit, the Nostalgia Ultra, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I felt the vibe of Nostalgia Ultra more than Channel Orange.
But it was cool, but it just didn't. Channel Orange was just better. You know, like-
Because you can listen to it all the way through.
Exactly.
Blonde, I'll be
Blonde,
like,
I gotta
oh,
like
these
be-
fucking skits
keep
blow
one
me.
skip.
That's
on
why I
one,
feel like
two
we have to
skips.
do a Thug though. At least maybe me personally, because
Well, Thug, I do use one or two skips. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not all Thug everything. Like
Yeah,
certain
okay.
Thug, I'd be like, yeah, I could do without. You know, but most of the time, I'm like, he's risky. Try something new. It's different. I can enjoy it. I remember Stoner at first. I was like, nigga, what the
Shit, that shit
fuck?
cranked the first
And-
time I heard
And
it.
then I heard it again. And I was like, you know, if I just kind of like don't focus, but just like
When I heard that,
I was like, all right.
see, I've been listening to Thug since I came from nothing. Where he would sound like a complete Lil Wayne clone. He sounded smack like him. But when Danny Glover and Stoner came out, I was on that shit. I was like, yo, this nigga is the future. Off Bucks.
I believe, but
Wait. You had.
I mean, you can stay because we got more questions. So basically, we just added Matt and Matt from the outlet, and then we also have Damo also from the outlet. So we gonna, since we on the topic of very spiritually ambiguous artists and entertainment, that's kind of like a perfect segue into the questions that I had for a few different topics that I wanted to talk to you about. So recently, obviously, you guys probably may or may not have heard. Bobby Valentino was caught on tape allegedly leaving a trans woman's apartment without paying for some sort of sexual services, right?
We might get banned.
You guys heard about this?
I've heard the alleged story.
So from this incident, like a lot of different conversations have been sparked in regards to the transgender community, as well as just various different, various different sexualities in the urban community and in urban entertainment. So basically, one thing that I've noticed, so I kind of wanted to ask you questions in regards to that. One thing that I've noticed a lot lately, within the past couple of years, is a lot of bisexual and gay entertainers and rappers have been coming out. But one thing that I noticed is a lot of times is right before an album drops, or it's right before a press run for some, movie release or whatever the case. Now I'm trying to figure out, it's happening.
That's like the best press ever.
A few artists that we've seen do it, K-Tronada, Frank Ocean, who else? Let's see, Aaron Carter recently. He's not necessarily urban, but Taylor Bennett, Chance the Rapper's brother.
Yeah. You didn't know that? Yeah, he's bisexual.
I Love McConan, and then allegedly Tyler, the Creator, kind of stirred up some stuff.
Yeah, but I've been know that he was. I never had hopes for McConan.
I had hopes for him, man. He had some bangers, though.
Wait, pause. Y'all gotta think about like your outrage, like. To say I had high hopes for someone, but now I don't because of their sexuality.
No,
is literally like it.
No, I always thought he was trash.
His music got worse.
His sexuality does not have anything.
I love it. It just got worse because
it doesn't correlate.
Because I felt like he was lying.
It wasn't even that. It was like after he said he was gay, he left that whole trap scene. The shit that was cranking, he went pop. And that shit slumped.
He was better as his
I think he tried to
get jugs.
Yeah, he tried to use him saying he was gay so he could move on
to the pop,
and it just didn't work out.
So
like,
that kind of
come back to trap. So make some good music.
That kind of leads into my question that I want to ask. Do you all think it's basically people are doing this now as because they're realizing that there's a huge LGBT market and they're kind of trying to capitalize on that?
Hell yeah.
Or do y'all think that maybe just the urban entertainment industry and just the urban communities are becoming more of a safe place in 2017?
I think
it's both.
I think the LGBTQ community has always been around. I think a lot of these niggas have been gay or whatever for the longest. And I think that now, since like one of the most powerful statuses to be like a gay black dude in America, you can get like to anywhere now. Like you can't be stopped. So like announcing that before a drop or before any kind of like media appearance is like a solid way for somebody to view you. There's no way anybody would deny viewing you then.
But in the urban community though,
even they don't have to worry about that.
Even
the urban, you don't need the urban community no more.
I mean, think about an artist like Frank Ocean who built up an entire platform in the urban market. I mean, he was with Jay-Z and Beyonce. He was with Tyler, the Creator.
He never stayed in one lane.
Do you think his career took off more so after he came out, or do you think it had declined? I feel like it kind of
after he came out.
Yeah.
Well, he came out right before the album dropped, right?
Right.
And
right before Channel Orange came out.
That joint did numbers.
I think it would have did
numbers. Gay or straight,
but I mean, you can't say that.
I think it would have done numbers, but it wouldn't have had as much impact.
Frank had clout since.
But he sold more records because of that. Son, they let the nigga perform at the Grammys, a song that wasn't even a single, just because it was about some gay shit and he had just come out the closet.
This is fact. Yeah, it is.
It wasn't a single. Yeah, you're right. Because Forrest Gump was.
It wasn't a single.
It wasn't a single.
They did that shit because they was in the moment.
And you gotta submit your songs.
And then he went up there and did this shit all timid. I heard he did it in rehearsal just like that to make for the effect and shit. I mean, I don't know. I guess I can't really gossip because I don't know. But I know for damn sure if that nigga ain't come out, he would have done that song. Probably wouldn't even performed it.
Me personally, I feel like people, I don't necessarily think that people are doing it for, I guess, publicity. But I mean, if you're gonna reveal some big news, when else is better to do it than before you're gonna drop something that you can make money off of? If you're because personally I don't give a fuck if you're gay or not. That's not like Tyler the Creator came out as maybe being gay and I was okay, so
I never cared about his
I never really cared. So but it's still if you were gay, that before you drop a project, that is the perfect time to announce to everybody that you're gay. That's when else are you gonna do it?
But it's the perfect time to announce everything. Every time somebody
anything really.
Yeah, it's the perfect time to make.
I'm gonna cut off all my fingers before I drop an album. Let's see who's gonna tune in to see that shit. You know what I'm saying?
That's how you draw the limelight back to yourself.
I'm gonna let this question go, but before I do, say Thug comes out as gay next week and he's dropping an album in September. Are you still buying the album?
Fuck yeah.
Because Thug's content is primarily strongly heterosexual.
But he's probably still gonna sing about bitches.
Strongly.
Yeah.
But she made a good point by not making a point at all. She just said one word and
But
I had to reconsider what she
I
said.
think the content
his
is
music.
He does have some suspect lines. A lot of suspect lines.
And it's okay.
I don't think the
In his
content is
music,
You're basically saying if it's fire, it's fire.
Right.
In his music, he talks about bitches. That's what he's
He
probably
gonna
gonna
keep
keep
talking
talking
about
about.
Yeah.
Well, but what if he switched up and started talking about niggas?
He's not gonna do that. Y'all gotta
It's
understand.
not-
I'm like,
He's not gonna-
would y'all be still rocking with that shit?
He's
if he was
not
just
gonna
like,
do
yeah,
that
baby,
shit.
oh, man.
From a
All
business
right,
perspective,
it's
got
like
good
listen
system
to
that
anything
shit.
if
Would
it
y'all be
sounds-
okay?
if it
That shit
sounds
that'll be
right.
off for jail talk. I don't know.
Would y'all be fucking with it though?
Nah, probably not.
because they can't relate.
Probably not.
Yeah,
So,
there
I
would
mean-
be some shit I couldn't relate
You
to.
listen to what you can relate to.
Like the thing is like
I
I can
like
take
that.
it. Like I can take it on.
Everybody has their like guilty pleasure songs. I feel like if a song resonates with you just because of the sound, you're gonna listen to it even if you don't necessarily like the lyrics. Like there's a lot of
Forrest Gump
songs
was
that I
fire.
listen to and I'm just like, this is.
Forrest Gump was fire. You can't even like.
Well, I think the difference between that and lyrics as graphic as what your example was is that Forrest Gump was more about the feeling, not necessarily about whether or not you were male or female. Like if you bending a nigga over and putting, you know what I'm saying, like that's you saying.
Yeah, if
I'm sorry you
goes,
even brought that up.
It's like I can't.
I'm good. I'd rather not. You know, that's not. Nah. I just don't want to hear that.
I mean, if it was
For
cleverly
sure.
placed in the song, you didn't notice it until. There's so many things that are in songs that you don't notice unless you listen to them like 100 times. So, hypothetically, it could be in the song already, and you just didn't notice it because you went into it listening with your own like mindset. Your own
So what are you saying?
interpretation.
What are you trying to say?
I'm just saying that if you like the song, you like the song. I don't think that you're necessarily gonna hear it and be like, oh, now let's.
No, I'm saying, but if he's being as graphic as that, though, you
Right.
want to hear it. It's the surface
Like
level.
Thug is very blatant when he says,
Yeah,
you know,
if you're gonna be as graphic as
If
that.
I hear it very openly,
But see,
If it's over a really, really fire beat, I don't know.
there's no way, Dom. That's where
that's
we draw
not.
the
But
line.
you talking about? You talking?
I'm not entertaining.
we basically all, I think we can all say that yes, it's becoming more of a safe space, but it ain't that safe yet. It's not. It's definitely not.
I don't even think that's not a safe space. It's just you have to let people be uncomfortable. Like we personally, as heterosexual males, it's just like that would make us uncomfortable. So it's just like you have to leave space for that. So it's just like we're not necessarily gonna judge you or like say shit against you or hate on you, but at the same time, that's not what we do. So it's just like to hear somebody say that, it's just like whoa.
It's a shock.
It's a shock and it does make you low key uncomfortable. I'm not even gonna, but you can't say that it's not a safe space because like whatever you want to do you.
Music.
This whole time,
Yeah,
Matt
but-
hasn't been visually in the conversation, so I want you guys to
Just your
re-welcome
voice.
Matt one
Just
more
the tip of your
time. It's been like the tip of his ear like the entire time. It's a strong voice, but yeah, no, I can agree. I think yeah, like we said, like it's definitely progressing. And there's like a lot of progress, but it's not that advanced yet, especially for in the urban market. You don't see a lot of blatantly gay rappers and shit like that.
People just they're not gonna accept that shit.
You think it's never gonna happen?
People, nah, it's definitely going to happen.
I think it's
people
gonna happen.
people aren't ready for it yet, though. People aren't ready for it.
But
They're not gonna accept it.
enough of that. We'll see it when it happens. You know what I mean? I think it's gonna happen at some point, but it'll probably be.
You think there's more steps?
I mean, because the agenda is being pushed stronger.
I don't see it on the horizon.
The LGBT movement is stronger than Black Lives. Well, it's not. I don't want to say it's stronger than Black Lives, but it's up there.
It's more supported.
It's up there. They get more support. Everywhere you see
They have clear
you
goals.
see as many Black Lives Matter
Stuff they
flags
want.
as you see LGBT flags on churches.
I mean,
Oh, word?
Equal
see
amount,
Black Lives
maybe
Matter.
even more.
But you gotta think the
Maybe
top
more. I'm
people.
saying. That's what I'm saying. As
You
many
gotta
as
got a point because the top people in Black Lives Matter are LGBT.
My nigga D-Ray.
Yeah.
My nigga
And this
D-Ray.
goddamn
D-Ray
blue
Davis.
vest. Give a new
Yeah.
gay.
No,
D-Ray
that's a
Davis is gay?
signature vest.
No.
D-Ray from
D-Ray Davis is gay?
No,
D-Ray,
the
Twitter activist.
Yeah, the activist.
I don't want.
Yeah,
I don't want to. I'm not trying to discredit him, but
Nah,
we talking
we talking about
Friday.
activists. Huh?
no, D-Ray,
No,
the one that
no.
always wears the blue vest.
Yeah.
Wait, D-Ray Davis is not the comedian, not the comedian.
No,
No.
not the
So,
comedian.
so not D-Ray Davis.
No.
Nah, not the
Wait,
comedian.
D-Ray Davis is that right?
It's another D-Ray?
D-Ray
Okay.
Davis is the dude from
Yeah,
Wildin' Out.
The comedian, yeah.
Yeah.
My fault. Well,
And there's
D-Ray.
also another D-Ray
There's
that's a
another
comedian from California that's like.
Are we talking about the same D-Ray?
They look alike.
No,
They're,
we're talking
okay,
about dark
there's
skin.
three D-Rays. There's the two
There's the
light
one
skinned
that's known.
D-Rays with beards.
There's the one
that
that
are
people know, and
comedians.
there's the one that
No.
There's too many
no.
D-Rays, bro.
There
Y'all need
are.
to change up your name, like D-Ray 2.0.
One of y'all What are y'all
D-Ray
doing?
No,
Ray
there's two comedian D-Rays. There's one activist D-Ray.
Okay, well,
Yes.
shout
The
out
two
to
comedians look alike.
activist D-Ray.
Yeah.
We support you.
Blue vest.
Yeah.
Alright, so enough of that.
Put in the
Like,
vest.
Alright, so
I
we'll
hate
get to
my
the
man's
next,
vest.
the
That's
next
his
topic.
signature.
Even in the summer.
Come on, I know he be hot.
So recently on Twitter, in the Twitter sphere, I don't know how active y'all on Twitter, but Cardi B is currently, or yesterday rather, I don't know if it's still going on, but she was being crucified for having in the past used the term tranny. Now me, I'm looking at this shit, I'm just like, I'm trying to figure out what's going on. Like, apparently, the term tranny is hate speech. So I'm having conversations with people online like, yo, this is real. Like, I never heard of this shit. I didn't really understand it.
It's like a white person saying nigga.
Yeah.
I've
and being
always
like,
heard of it.
why
I've
can't
always
I say
heard.
it?
I've
You
always
say
heard.
it.
I've always
That it
heard.
was hate speech?
Yeah, I've always kind of
What about you, Swim? Did you know that shit?
I used to hear that you're not supposed to say tranny.
Because I remember like on Jerry Springer and shit like that, I remember kind of seeing that shit in the caption. So I was like, I thought it was cool.
Yeah.
See, like my
It's not
mom would be like, you can't say tranny, you're supposed to say transgender.
Okay, see,
You
I
know,
wasn't
there's
saying
the
You're supposed to say transgender
Transgender
male or
or
transgender
trans.
female.
Wait, okay.
Like, you're supposed to be very specific about what the fuck you're talking about.
So
it was actually my lesbian English teacher who corrected us on this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the lesbian English teacher, that's lit.
Yeah, but she wasn't hot. She was like,
She was a bush lesbian, that's
No,
not.
don't even go there.
I mean, she was like one of those like, you know, I'll get you, Susan. You know, she was
Like Miss
Say, I'll
Trunchbull?
get you, Susan.
like she was the one. She was, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
She was wearing the pants.
Okay, I feel you.
You know what I'm saying? So that's why I
She
wasn't
was the
hot.
one
Man, this is like a PSA, man, for any of y'all that's like me and they didn't know that tranny is hate speech. Tranny is hate fucking speech. Don't say that shit.
But
it's like
think about the word
Negro and
tranny.
nigga.
Wait,
You know?
now that's where I stopped.
Well,
That's
I
where
mean, like
stopped the ball.
not the value of it, but it's
Thank you,
it's
okay.
not the value of Negro and nigga, but it's the wordplay of it.
Right.
If that makes sense. Transgender.
Just think about
tranny's a shortened version, and it's what was used at the time. It was like
It's kind of like jabbed as
Yeah.
fucking offensive.
it was
or,
when we used it back in the day. It was never as a positive thing.
Right.
Right.
So it was always like a tranny. When you call somebody a tranny, it was always negative. It was never like,
Yeah, you were never
oh
like, "What's up,
my
tranny?"
tranny. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so if you're going off the history of the word, because that's exactly what black people do. But when they go off the history of the word nigga, that's why people are not allowed to use it. They are allowed to use it in their community because they are part of that
so
community.
yeah, like
So if you're gonna address them in a respectful way, you can't use something that's historically been something to put them down.
I respect it. I think basically what we can kind of conclude from this is any fucking descriptive noun for any group of people, if you had a Y to the end of it, that should just sound disrespectful. Like if you abbreviate it in Spanny, that fucking sounds disrespectful. A Jappy, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Like a YD, that shit sounds disrespectful. Yeah. So yeah, I think I just wanted to really touch on that because I was fucking lost. So for everybody that's like me,
Or hard ERs. Don't do
well,
that
that's what
either.
they do. They do label
Yeah,
some
hard
as
ERs
trans.
are the devil.
All right. So what's a trans woman and a trans male? Like what? I'm
This is why I
saying,
have
like,
questions. This is why I have
that's
answers
what I'm
for.
confused
Well, a
about.
trans woman is
Is
a
a-
It's
woman
one that
with
turns
breasts.
from a man into a woman,
Yeah.
and then a trans male is
Yeah.
turns.
But the
into a
argument
woman.
is you can't really
It's anything-
change. You still have the
anything they want it
same
to be.
chromosomes.
Well, the ones that go and get physical
Some
changes.
people go with the extra.
You can only
X
do physical
chromosome.
change.
Now this where shit
So-
gets hella confusing for
DNA
y'all all
is
the
DNA. You
confused as I
can't
am.
change
No one's-
DNA.
Yeah,
no
you're
matter
still
what.
a man. You're still a woman.
I don't think we should
Okay.
think about it too hard. Just let them do them. Whatever they want it to be,
Yeah.
then that's what it is.
It's just
And
the
I'm not gonna
arguments-
ask any
The
questions.
arguments about it is what gets me. Like everyone wants to argue about whether a person can or cannot be trans based on DNA, based on whether they're able to reproduce, but those aren't even standards that we hold to like heterosexual people. Like you don't go up to a woman you're dating and you're like on the first date, can you reproduce? You don't ask that. You're
No.
just like, all right. I
But
think
at the
it.
same time,
And you keep it going.
you don't go up to a black male and when he says, "Oh no, I'm a white guy,"
else doing that.
No, but there's black males. There's a lot of screamo niggas that that want to be emo.
No, now I want to be claimed to be.
And I mean,
I could be.
what's his name? What's that baseball
If that's
player?
the case, I could classify as a
Sammy
white man.
Sosa has been bleaching his skin for years,
Okay, we gave.
and
Michael Jackson
he wants to be a white guy, and that shit is not happening. Nobody is gonna. Oh, Sammy Sosa.
Like, if we're talking about colorism, when you see Sammy Sosa, he's got lighter skin. Are they gonna treat him better or worse?
No, they're not.
Colorism is real.
They're gonna
It's
no, but they're
just
also
simple-
gonna treat him worse because they know that he bleached. Like,
Because
Also,
they're gonna
when you
treat him
see
worse
Sammy
because he looks
Sosa, he
stupid.
looks like an amoeba.
You
Say he doesn't.
He does.
He looks like a what the fuck. You know what I'm saying? Like,
That's why we treat you bad, Sammy Sosa, because he looks stupid as fuck. He doesn't look dumb.
But
Like
what I mean
know
by
what
that
to
is
do.
his the facial recognition software for Sammy Sosa is now obsolete. You don't know who the fuck that nigga is because he don't look like Sammy Sosa no more.
Yeah, still good.
So you think? I mean, but colorism exists, so he might get treated better.
Nah, but we already.
He still get treated like a
he's
nigga.
gray.
at the end of
He's
the day.
gray though.
So
He's
not
not
gonna be
like
accepted
white.
by the white
He's
man.
not
Oh no.
He looks like
absolutely
the back in the day.
not. So he's trying to come. He's basically trying to pass for white.
He's not passing for white. He's literally like
They
vampire
already.
gray.
First of all,
like,
his features are too
I'll be pronounced.
are too pronounced
I'll be
for him to
terrified
be
of
ever
sex.
accepted fully by white people. In
Already,
that way.
you got nigga
Plus,
nuts.
it's like
You got
nigga,
nigga nuts.
you amassed your fame when you were still a black man. So I mean, most people are. I mean, nobody cares. Like, who cares? I mean, what are we doing? It's like, does Sammy Sosa even appear at things at this point? Like,
yeah.
It was just funny.
He ain't
when you saw the
important.
picture.
He ain't important to the urban
Crazy.
community.
What does he do? Like,
As far as our community, he don't do shit. So
Yeah.
personally, I didn't care. I just thought it was a funny image to see that he went through those lengths and actually spent bread to try and appeal to somebody who's
I mean, but
not really
maybe,
checking for him.
maybe he's only trying to do it for himself. Maybe it's his own personal wants. But
Maybe we're just trying to get some bitches. You know? He's,
so he
He
got
walks,
millions of
he
dollars.
walks.
He'll get bitches regardless. Like, he'll get
Facts.
bitches no matter what he look like.
Oh.
She cringing right now. Now, what is
You
that
telling
face
me he's not
about?
gonna get bitches no matter what he look like?
Well, you got.
he's gonna get a woman.
Wait, because women might not necessarily go for him just because of the money.
It's a lot of people with money. That's
I mean,
Look,
Wait. No, let's
They
pause
all
the
get.
It's not like-
All these niggas.
Is
was
there-
like,
you a back
still
page
getting-
youngin.
You
And the
gonna go
nigga
for it.
Sammy Sosa call you, be like,
Facts.
look, I got 10,000 for you.
They not gonna deny
She
that.
gon'
10,000.
fuck.
She's like, I don't do great niggas. I can't.
Right.
And then
She
he's
ain't
gonna
say
take
that. She
50,000.
give me the money and be
then
like,
she's
you
gonna
know
be
what?
like, all right,
Let me get this
cover
shit
up.
over with.
all I
real
can
quick.
say, as far as that goes, any woman that's going after a man for his money has options. So there's a lot of guys with money, so it's easy to be like, no, I don't want this one because he's kind of weird.
Yeah,
But there's no. They can just keep
Wait,
going.
he got-
And even if that was
It's
the
a
case,
different
even if she
amount
just
of
wants
money
it for
he
his
got.
money, then he's not really getting bitches because he's
But he's still
no, it's not
million.
because there's a lot of guys who will pay for company. So
yeah, he's gonna be one of those. niggas.
He's
still
gonna pay
getting
for
bitches.
pussy. It's just
Hey,
how it
It's
is.
just how
That's
I bet you if he was
thing.
still black, he wouldn't be doing that shit.
All right. So hold the phone real quick.
No, if he was black, he would still be doing
I
it.
wanna
If
ask
he's
y'all-
using his salary or using a form,
Y'all underestimate the
if
power
he's
of
using a
$100.
form of
now
money,
y'all are underestimating the judgment of women.
there are so many women on this
There's
earth,
so many.
money, it's the
There's so
money.
many women that have
I'ma just say it
terrible
like
judgment.
this.
and there's so much money.
Why are you looking at me like this?
Let's argue.
There's
If somebody
do you
said-
want to do this right now, Dom?
Let me just say this. If Sammy Sosa in the room with 10 bitches, 5 out of 10 are gonna fuck him. If he was like, look, I got 100,000 check, who won it? 5 out of 10 of them gonna be like, you know what? Fuck it. I get this shit over.
Now let's hold the phone.
$100,000.
$100,000.
If they said I had to fuck
Dom,
Oprah,
would you?
like
I'll
who wants
be
to
in
do
there.
it?
Would you-
I'ma
Would
fuck
you talk to
Oprah
a
for
great
that
nigga?
dollar.
If a nigga,
All right.
I'm gonna fuck Oprah for that dollar. That, and not to sound savage, but
You said overall.
I might put a baby.
there's a certain amount of money that can get you to fuck.
This is
If,
facts.
there's no way.
you also have
He
to
might
think-
get a baby.
You also have to think that niggas would fuck generally most.
With or without money.
Yeah, with or without money. Like,
So exactly, you're using your own standards and putting
so,
it on
But I'm
niggas
saying
like that not that high.
They're not.
But there
That's my
are, there
point,
are
like,
women
it's
out there
standard.
that will fuck for a dollar.
But there are a
Alright,
lot of
There
women.
are, but think
There are a lot of
about-
women
think
out
about-
there that are high standards.
Okay, this is the point that I'm making.
All right, make your point. Then I gotta chime in real quick.
Smart women know that you don't have to fuck her.
There's so many dumb bitches out there, right?
That's my
I mean,
point.
women, dumb
That's my
women
point.
out there.
Y'all are saying guys will fuck for pretty much anything. There
Not
are so
everything,
many women who
70%.
realize.
Nah,
that
I
not-
can't even.
Pause the conversation, right?
So-
Alright, so like I'm hearing y'all talk in this gray area. Y'all saying bitches and y'all saying women.
Me, Sammy.
Where, is there a line in the sand?
That's what I wanna know.
Is the term bitch used as an umbrella statement from your perspective? Is there a line in the sand, or is there a line in the sand between bitch
So
and
let me
woman?
break down my categorizing of the
Break
female
it down, break it
chromosome.
down.
You have joints, you got bitches, you got bras, you got women, you got ladies, and you got young joints.
So based on that
Young
category,
joints. That's like 18 to 19 is a young joint. And then so we went to.
I don't know nothing about no young joint.
I mean, but I'm not saying.
Come get this nigga.
No, not like in that sense. Not like
Wait,
young.
if she 18, she legal. Let's just throw that out.
Like
there.
I'm not saying like young joint.
So
I'm
I
saying
think I
like.
heard 6 categories. 2 were negative, 2 were positive, 2 were kind of like a gray area.
that's positive. I think overall that's
Alright,
positive.
there's no young joint category. We just have joints. But I'm saying like there's girls with young joint mentality. If that makes sense, you know what
What's that? Elaborate.
Ah, fuck it. Never mind. Alright. What I'm trying to say, you got joints, you got bitches, you got bras, you got ladies, you got women. Well, that's like hoes, bitches. We categorize them. Hoes, I mean,
It's different for everybody though. It's different for everybody.
I generalize hoes and bitches. You know, they're synonymous to me.
I just
So what about for men?
bitches
So what are the
stand
categories
for
for
everything
men?
for me.
You got
Bitches
bitch
for
ass
everybody.
niggas. You got
Bitches can
you got bitch niggas. You got niggas.
That's only 3. How come you only got 3 categories?
Because women are more complex.
Okay, I'll take it.
It's more women.
That was bullshit.
Oh, Bello, you saying it's more women, but you also saying bitches for everything. Which one is it? Is it 2 different?
You gotta
things?
Let me
It's the
put
same.
it like this. I grew up in a certain little house.
Yeah.
I grew up with a father who's from LA. You know, West California, niggas say bitches for everything.
Word.
I'm sorry, it's just ingrained like shit.
That's a bitch.
But at the same time, you kind of see, you understand.
But bitches for me if you can still be a good bitch. Like that's my bitch. Y'all heard
I
that?
think
Like
bitch
that's
has
my
a
bitch.
ceiling though, cause some
Like your way, if you don't want to call it joint a bitch, you can just say that's a bum joint. Instead of calling that's a bitch over there. Oh, that's just a whack joint.
What about the bait?
Bait? No.
Break it down.
That was high school.
That was a time. That was
like
a word that
2012.
had its time. And
Now we put it to rest.
That was like 08.
bait.
the conversation was good, man.
Wait, can I ask you? How do you feel about the word bitch?
I feel like it's one of those.
Works out. The rolls they crave now come in sandwich and Mexican favorite, Totino's rolls. It's how kids help themselves.
Alright, so we had to go ahead and wrap up this episode of interviews a little bit shortly due to the fact that we ran out of memory space. The conversation was really getting good. The shit was over an hour and we just didn't have any more gigabytes in order to store footage. So the shit just stopped recording. But I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Make sure you guys follow 630 Fairview on Instagram. Make sure you follow the outlet. Make sure you follow Damo Genius. Make sure you follow Matt. All of the Instagrams gonna be below in the description. Make sure you keep it locked at TLX Media on Instagram. Subscribe, like, leave us a comment in below. Let us know what you thought. And if you like what you saw, you know what I'm saying, you can always make a donation to support the programming so that we can get more hardware, so that we can get more software support to Cash App, PayPal, or whichever. All the links through which you can make donations are going to be posted in the description below. Man, with that being said, stay blessed, stay positive, stay focused on success. You already know what it is. It's your boy Primary Element, TLX Media, signing out.